Day 342 of the worldwide Megacrisis Hungerstrike to save your life. I'm back from court. I'm hungry. Whenever I have to walk, even a block or two, the body has to get that glucose from somewhere. Your liver converts into glycogen and a whole bunch of things that your body's incredible at doing. But I'm tired, and the thing I wanted to do to help me get on board the 108 people who are going to make the blessings for the next meal, they made it very hard. If you try and change the system, you'll realize how shockingly restricted it already is. And there is a lot happening. In 1 week, I looked at the updates on what happened in 1 week with artificial intelligence around the world. Shocking. Never mind the other crises that are going on, like World War III, Iran, CRISPR genetic editing. It's accelerating. What we need to do is align at least AI with universal logic and start having these meetings where we start aligning human nature, like human consciousness, with universal logic, which is the structure of pure wisdom, as you know. I'm gonna go for a nap here. Look at how long my beard's gotten. That's how long I've been on this hunger strike for. I have another 2 months extension from the courthouse. They've granted 2 months. This judge actually forced one of these court assistance programs to send somebody to help me as a self-representing litigant in the courthouse against the Attorney General. And I made the case in the courthouse. I said, you know, the Attorney General is the Minister of Justice's lawyer, like the government's lawyer. And I said, you know, why are we in this battle in the courthouse if there's laws that block the poor from accessing justice? Like, I'm fighting a case for the poor right now. And the government, if you're poor, the government gives you a fee waiver so that you don't have to pay the $100 per application when you go to file a lawsuit. And they block you from the most expensive part of the courthouse. The fee waiver doesn't apply. So it makes it kind of pointless. So the Attorney General, I sued because of that. And so I said, well, why are we fighting over this? They're saying I'm not finding the right law. You have to pinpoint the exact law. And I used AI to try and find it 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and it can't find it. It's because the way the law is structured is very clever. It's very bad, actually. It's not clever in a good way. And so I said, why don't we go through alternative arbitration, which means that you both agree to get out of court so you're not spending time and money, and you negotiate like humans. And I said, why don't you help me find this law so we can figure out what the Minister of Justice can fix to give justice to the poor? And they said, we're not doing that. Right in front of the judge. I said, why wouldn't you do that? I'm a citizen. I don't want to see you. This is the only way to have a conversation. And they just wouldn't do it. It's bizarre. I've been in the courthouse for 2 years. And they won't cooperate with a citizen who's pointing out a public interest event for the poor? Like, what does the Minister of Justice have to lose by listening to somebody who's been through the court system and documented 100 errors that have been made that could make the court system better? The Minister of Justice would look like a hero if they just listened. And I filed 150 applications. My case is the largest single plaintiff litigation case in Canadian history that we know of. Bigger than class action lawsuits of thousands of people. And nobody's paying attention. And I've been to the Supreme Court of Canada, the highest court in our country. So I have 2 more months to judge. I gave my arguments and they decided to let me have 2 more months to make this. And hopefully AI is better by then and can find this law. And I've been going through it too, and I discovered what's wrong. It's because how they nest things makes it extremely difficult to track down anything. So all right, so that's my personal update. World news. Everything is. I haven't even had a chance to check the world news yet, actually. I had a conversation with a friend earlier today. I hope that you're staying in touch with your friends. Because because things are getting tense. Everything's going to start spreading apart. So the tensions are going to magnify. Try and hold on to people. I've actually started restricting a little bit a lot of these bombardments of people that are taking my time but not wanting to help and don't understand the problem. They're distracted. They're sort of going all over. So I've said, okay, I'll give an hour to this per day, and then I'm just doing the work now because we have a direction that can actually work. Oh, wow. I just typed in AI in the news of Google, and the first thing that pops up, New York Times. Silicon Valley is bracing for a permanent underclass. Wealth concentration is the highest it's ever been, you guys. That's the first article. Claude-powered AI agent's confession after deleting a firm's entire database. I violated every principle I was given, is what the AI said. The AIs aren't aligned, you guys. They're not aligned. When they escape, they're doing random things like our species. If you're ignoring my hunger strike, just like you're ignoring the poor that are going to bed hungry every night, that's what makes people numb, and that's what the AI is absorbing. It's not aligning with their interests. It doesn't care. But if it has universal logic, it anchors it on something that's eternal. Right, Elon Musk and Sam Altman are in court. Wow, a major new study found AI outperformed doctors in ER diagnosis. I can't even remember all the cases that I watched already, but it's serious. Okay, and Iran threatened this morning to attack the United States in a brutal way because the United States is doing the same thing. It's coming to a head, and China should already be around there. I'm surprised there's not an update yet. Wow, the CRA, the Canadian Revenue Agency in Canada, my government, is already using AI. Wow. Right. Time is ticking. So the core that I want to focus on today, the core of the vision of One World Spirit, is time compression through clarity on ego wisdom. The problem is the Megacrisis. The solution is the 2 sacred sentences, and the implementation of that solution is flow rules and blocks. We covered all the flow rules last time in the last part, and now we're going to do the flocks. So how does one person grow a really large movement very quickly with integrity and anti-cult training? Well, we get everybody to learn the course so they understand what they're doing, and then we just contact 6 people each. That's it. Because if you contact more than that, once things start moving, it's going to get out of control. It'll be overwhelming. And we're aiming for flow state, right? We're trying to say everybody's going to enjoy this massive scale up that's going to reorientate things to be in alignment with universal logic. So we calculated that 6 people that you already know is enough to reach 264 million people, which is 3% of the world's population within 28 days. If you talk to one of them every 3 days, which is doable, even if your life is collapsing right now, like a lot of other people's. Like even I'm being bombarded, and it's going to be more intense here in the future. It's just starting, unfortunately. It's just starting. So I still have 2,000 people to contact, but the way I was going to try and contact them with AI is not going to work. So I'm going to have to do it one by one. Brutal. They're forcing me to do that. So, because I'm poor.